forum to where, like I said, like we talked about the stop sign, that would be like a perfect example to where you guys could participate in it. And of course, if a team member couldn't make it, it would be recorded so you guys could go over it. And then, come back with a decision as the development team to go, yay or nay, this isn't going to be possible, or we don't like your idea, but this is the reason why,
Yeah.
I definitely like that idea. Yeah.
There should be banks on it. Yes.
Should we go over that stuff?
No, that could. I don't think so.
Okay.
You'd have to ask Andy. I like rolling you in there. There should be banks on each sides of the maps. There's banks at different locations around the map.
And I'm kind of digging like the armored cars. Like how Brinks has to bring cash to the different locations. Like an aspect could be, let's say, instead of robbing the bank, let's hit the armored car. You know what I mean? Like
now,
it would be.
This armored car is actual players, or is this armored car AI?
I want it to be players because it would add more to the roleplay. Not saying that,
At the same time, it's a trust issue too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a double-edged sword. It'd be something that I would like to see debated on the forums. I think I'll actually put that up and on a suggestion and hopefully see what everybody comes up with, because I think that could add an extra bit of roleplay. Let's say you're working for a security company like Brinks that, has to deal with police and has to deliver money, just like in real life. That they have to do dispatch to the local police, like we had an alarm go off at such and such business, or we had an alarm go off at such and such residence. Can you please respond, and like something like that. Yeah, just digest it. Don't say anything. Digest it and think about it. Because
I'm just writing all this stuff down so we can talk about it later.
Exactly. Yeah, and the thing, like she said, like Mommy Fook said, a set amount of money. Like, don't make it something like super extravagant. Like in real life, it is going to be millions of dollars, but within reason of the game constraints, like it's not going to be as much as getting a bank, because yes, it's going to be hard, but again, it goes back to what we talked about earlier: risk versus reward.
Okay, I get you then. But you have to keep in mind, Fuka, that it's hard to come by a gun. So maybe it could possibly end up with you, and you could be with 4 people, but you're the only one with a gun. So you have to make that decision if it's worth it to go after them when only one of you carry a gun. The other 3 will be throwing fists.
Yeah, and the fact that it could be like the whole cop thing, it's going to be something that has to be heavily monitored, just like a police force, to be able to work on the armored trucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't just be doing cash deliveries; they'd also be responding to, let's say, a warehouse. Like, say the security company hires somebody to go patrol a warehouse because they're not going to be on the server, and for a legit roleplay reason, they don't want anybody breaking in and stealing their crap, just like in real life. But go ahead. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say we should go over the factions. Justin,
Why me?
because you're a good talker, and I like listening to
you. Which are the factions?
Just the generalization, don't go into depth on Elio's side and stuff. But...
yeah, how the way we're doing things.
With what? With what pertaining to the factions?
Jobs, and like the police department and the fire department.
Oh, like how it's set up from the beginning, and
yes.
Okay. So we really need insight from everybody on this. We think it's a great idea, but we love to hear feedback, of course. But what we're doing different is the first thing is there's no paychecks. When we mean by no paychecks, is there's no free money. So not every 2 minutes you're getting a paycheck, a free paycheck, welfare check, or anything like that. So that does not happen. When you initially come into the server, you have $5,000 to your name. What you do with that $5,000 is up to you. Whether you buy a truck, whether you go to college, that's all I'll say. Whether you, whatever decision you decide to do with that $5,000 is up to you, so to say.
I get what you're saying. It makes it more realistic. It's not like you come to this world and you automatically are the best trained police officer in the world. You know, there has to be some training involved. There's got to be elements of the role play that makes you want to interact and be a part of it. You don't immediately become the sheriff of whatever county as soon as you come in. There's going to be a building and learning process built in, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So a little bit in depthness, I guess you would say, about that is the players themselves just can't jump onto the server and go buy a Bugatti within an hour or anything like that. It's not going to even be possible. Now the highlight of this map is all about who's got the mansion, who's got the Bugatti. That's the importance of our side of the role play.
Yeah, it's materialistic because let's just face it. In life, people are materialistic, so why not be materialistic in a video game?
Right. So when you see people living in the fancy area, whether it's Spring Mill, Blackwood, Northview, wherever on our map, when you see someone's living in those fancy houses, you want to live in that fancy house, or either you want to rob them of their shit in that fancy house. So it's up to you. It's different steps. You have different roles that can be fulfilled with that, but it all starts with that $5,000, what you decide to do with that. And that's where I said, if you can go get a job, or you can go get a car or a truck. To start out, of course, it's going to be a beater, a piece of crap car and stuff, but it gets you started. And then you have also the choice of either taking out a loan to get you something better. Of course, I hope you.
A loan system's generalized enough.
Yeah.
That's generalized enough. There's plenty of other people that do a loan type system, so I mean that's general. It's not like he told the exact way you're gonna go here and get this interest percent rate and all this stuff. He generalized it. He did pretty good with that.
And just to say, that wasn't me that shushed.
Wait. He said it's exactly like A3PO. What's exactly like A3PO? Because that makes me want to cry. What makes you saying the name?
There are trolls. That's all I'm gonna warn you. Josh is a big dick.
Okay.
He's a big dickhead, so you got to be careful. There's people that are gonna bait you. Don't get into the bait. Trust me. I've had the same thing playing on Orgo. I've had the same thing there. Oh, I've seen this map before. No, you haven't. You've seen the community version of it. You haven't seen this version of it. Oh, this is definitely Fisher Island. No, it's not. You're going to have that. See, he's trolling. See, that's why he put the heart there, because he knows he's trolling.
What else on the faction side, Anthony, or was that covered or no? Did I cover the wrong thing? I have no idea.
You covered the wrong thing.
Okay.
Even Andy said no.
What exactly, Andy?
Hold on.
What?
You want me to do it, Andy?
Yeah, and then maybe I'll catch on.
I poked you.
Oh, that.
Okay, go ahead, Justin.
Okay, that. Explain it better. But okay.
We did say factions.
Okay, so you guys are talking about how the Civ slots work and everything. I believe that's what they wanted me to talk about. So every single slot is a Civ slot. So the way all the jobs work, so to say, how the job work is basically you log in as a civilian. That's absolutely everybody. Everybody most likely will be put on a whitelist depending on your job that you have. For some jobs, for a lot of jobs, no. Public safety, of course, yes. Fire, EMS, which falls into public safety, of course. Armored trucks, if we decide to do that sort of thing, then they would have whitelist for that as well, which is an XML file for themselves. But the easiest way to explain this is if you're a civilian and you're walking around the map, so if Hill's walking around the map, he can be in civilian clothes. And then all of a sudden he knows he's going on shift at the police station at 6 p.m. He can go to the police station, go to his specific locker number, scroll on the locker, and change to his police uniform. This does not change you to Blue 4. This is still police. You're just on a script. If you're not on that XML file script, then you cannot change out to that uniform. You won't even make it to that locker room, let alone
You're not.
far in that police station.
You're not gonna You're not even gonna be able to put your thumb on that print scanner to let you in the building.
Yeah. So that's how the roles or factions work. So everyone is a civilian. So there's not two sides of the table, and that's to give more room and more space, so it's not cut up. I guess you would say between Blue 4 and Op 4, or civilian.
Oh, and here's a cool technical question after you're finished. I just thought of it.
Go ahead. Actually,
have you guys looked into headless client to help with some of your AI scripting and stuff like that? Because I've seen a lot of really good work with the headless client as far as executing really good cleanup scripts and stuff like that. Is that something you guys maybe are looking into for the future of headless client?
Yeah, I have a global cleanup script currently that will run that script. But what we want to do is make sure that script isn't running constantly. Or any of those pings for. Okay. Oh, I'm getting messages at the same time.
Oh, it's all good. Because that's something that's in the public of Arma. Like, everybody knows about the functionality of a headless client, so I don't think you're really giving anything away there because they've shown it with Breaking Point and other things.
Yeah. No, we're fine with things on that side. We definitely take a look at the headless client as well. But our main focus is to not have any clutter at all on our map. So in terms of a cleanup script for the server side to reduce restarts, so to say, is to make sure that we don't have lots of clutter on our map. So that's why you run into a lamppost and things like that, you may end up killing yourself and or throwing yourself out of the window and or whatever,
And then having to have that tow truck come get your car, go, hey, it's totaled. Guess what? We're scrapping it.
Exactly. Do we want to talk about repair kits? Repair kits, Anthony?
If you want.
Yeah, if you want.
We don't believe in them. That's the easiest way to put it. We don't believe in them because it takes away from role play. So I understand that some people can't drive and you drive off the road and you blow your tire a lot, things like that. But either A, you'll have to walk to the if no one's on, of course, no tow trucks are on, you can just walk and get yourself a new tire from the shop to replace your tire and things like that. And or get a tow, things like that. So it doesn't take away from that, because seeing everyone just drive crazily and then just repair their car constantly would take away from a lot of in-depth role play, and or fixing their car from running into a stoplight or something like that, or a building.
So basically, you're making it to where the actual person being a repairman or a tow truck driver having the knowledge to be able to change the tire and stuff like that, instead of everybody running around with a repair kit and can repair everything.
Yes, exactly. So we wanted to give them that opportunity to do their job rather than everyone fulfilling this role of somehow knowing how to fix every tire and fix engine problems on every car ever.
So. Exactly. Have you guys looked into a system to where, like, the different parts of the car, you can actually go get a tire and then replace the tire and stuff like that, to where it's like individual parts instead of you're fixing the entire vehicle, because that's what we've been used to?
The question to that is yes. That's something that I don't think I can talk about.
No, that's okay. But generalizing it and saying that it's going to be something different. It's something different.
It's something different. So even if you're a mechanic, you're going to have fun rather than, just having a repair kit.